when you go back and look at some of the decisions made, especially early on, some short-yarded situations when Omarion was not used, were those RPOs or those straight calls, especially the one on
fourth down?
3rd and 2, 4th and 2?
Fourth and 2?
Yeah,
4th and 2. Yeah, that was a movement pass. We, I think we were 4th and 1 to 2. We had 8 snaps. We got 8 now. We're like 5 of 8, 4 pass, 4 run. So again, just trying to keep them off balance. I think, didn't we go fast at the end and get a 4th and 2 on a run? I'm pretty sure those were the 2 4th downs. Yeah. We just made a decision as a staff that, we thought that was a good look. We were going to try to pin the end. He did a good job and give Jacoby a chance to either throw it out to one of the guys or run it. And trying to, not always do the same thing kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they were right or wrong call, but
Sure.
when you go back and reevaluate, and say, maybe if we give it to Omarion and we move the chain.
Yes.
And kind of slow that part of the game.
Yeah, 100%. And if I knew.
How can that change maybe how things play out?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, when it doesn't work, you wish you'd have done something different. But I think that game got away from us in the snap count and so forth. Therefore, you look up at the end of the thing, and Marion's got 11 carries or whatever it is, and none of us want that for sure. And the game kind of dictated that, and part of that was on us because we couldn't stay on the field on 3rd downs and stay on the field and get snaps. That snap count's huge, and I think we had 60 total plays, and a lot of those were in the 4th quarter. We were trying to go fast and catch up. So we don't need to get in that kind of game, and that'll help keep us from getting in those situations. But at the end of the day, it's my job to get it where we can stay out of those situations. And I got to take a look and see why we were in that situation and how we can improve.
I think at one point late in the game you were 0-10 on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Last little bit.
Yep.
What was DC doing on defense that was so effective?
They did a good job pressuring us and giving us some pressure looks where we couldn't always help, with the tight ends and the running backs. And, at the end of the day, we got to throw it accurately and go in on some routes. And, as a staff, we got to look at how we can help get them open better. I mean, that's probably, where it starts, to be honest with you. And, you look up at the end of the game, you're 3 of 13 total, and a couple of those were in late. So not a good 3rd down plan, obviously. So, we felt good going in. Never saw that coming, to be honest. Had a great week. Our guys prepared just like they always have, and gave us great effort. So it's definitely, I'm the coordinator. It's it's on me, and I got to go to work and figure out a better way to do things and evolve a little bit as the season moves. Jacoby is continuing to prepare and give us everything he's got. And I think for me, how do I get him to that next level and how do I get him more comfortable probably early is kind of what I've been looking at. And again, that falls on my feet, and I understand that. That's what I'm here to do. It's my job to get it right.
Did you urge Coach to leave Jacoby in late, or did he tell you? I mean, how did that work? He had a pretty rough day.
Yeah, Coach didn't say anything about it. I just felt like he needed to play through it. When you have a young player, I didn't want him to leave that game without any confidence, to be honest with you, the way it was going. And I challenged the offense and him as well. I want to see how you respond. Sunday, I showed the whole unit the last 2 drives just because I wanted to end with some positive things. And what I saw was the score was 41-7, and our guys were playing really, really hard. I mean, the effort was still there. I mean, you don't see that a lot of times. Talked to you guys last week, I think, about when Omarion scored against Wake and we all ran in the end zone. Well, we saw that same effort late in the game. I think it says a lot about our players. So, from my standpoint, got to do a better job of getting them a better plan. And, this week is going to be critical that we give ourselves opportunities to stay on the field and really not get away from our identity and who we are. And that happened to us the other day.
Chip, when you look at NC State, obviously Coach Doran has a defensive background. Coach
Yeah.
Gibson
Yeah.
has a really good track record there.
Yeah.
They don't have Peyton Wilson anymore, but they still have a lot of really good
Oh, yeah.
players. What is it that stands out to you about their defense?
Yeah, Tony Gibson, their D coordinator, and I know Coach Dorn's a defensive guy, but I've been run across Tony several years, know him really well. He does a great job, always has. He is going to force you in some issues. He is a guy that they give you a lot of pressure looks and really play physical and fast, and they're not going to sit back like some teams. They're going to get in your face and make you earn it. And that's the challenge you face every time you play his defense. And I think he does a great job disguising. He does a great job getting his guys in the right spots, and they're sound. They don't give up a lot of explosive plays. So, it's a big challenge for sure. And everybody they play, it makes you really, say, okay, how are we going to do this, or how? And he tries to take away the best things you do. I mean, that's what he does the best, I think, and always had a lot of respect for him.
Chip, I don't understand sacks aren't necessarily on the offensive line sometimes, but
Sure,
when you
yeah.
look back at the game,
Yeah.
I guess, what did you see protection-wise, maybe on the edges?
Yeah.
Kind of struggled with?
No, I think two of them 100%, really three, 100% were not on them. We held the ball some at quarterback. We busted two protections, running back and tight end. So, no, not all on the O-line for sure. Sometimes defenses force you where you can't always help because of the looks you're getting, and then it's about winning your one-on-one battles, and that's something we talked about yesterday. And so a lot of times we want to help them as much as we can for sure. But at the end of the day, we got to win our one-on-one battles. And, at quarterback, we have to get the ball out of our hand when we're supposed to. At, running backs and tight ends have to stay dialed in against the different looks. And when the protection changes from a slide here to a slide here or whatever you're dealing with. And, I think those are some of the things that showed up Saturday that honestly hadn't showed up before.
I asked Jacoby Saturday after the game up there that when you're not getting on the field very much, how hard it is to get into a groove,
Yeah.
and if that affected him. He mans up, he always takes blame for everything.
Sure,
He's
yeah.
not supposed to. As his coordinator and his position coach, how much did that affect his ability to find some kind of groove? Because
Yeah.
I've never seen, until the very end, like he was on, a lot of those yards were rushing.
I agree. No, I think it's huge. I mean, we have to be able to stay on the field to keep a rhythm in offense. I always thought in my experience, offense is a lot of times about rhythm. Hey, we hit a play, whether you go fast or not, doesn't matter. And I think, when you're a quarterback and your snaps are limited, a lot of times due to us being not good on third downs, then now you press a little bit. Now you can feel the guys pressing, and we don't need that. We need to play and stay in a positive area with the change. We need to make sure we stay ahead of the change and really stay in a situation where we're not dropping back and throwing it, and that's not what we want to do every down for sure. And then we got to do a better job, I think, of getting Jacoby stuff to get him going, get him comfortable, like you mentioned. And I think when you look at that whole game and really study it, it's not one group or one person. We didn't play well collectively, and again, that falls on me. So got to do a better job of finding a way for us to get these guys going.
On his pick six, he said that he was trying to throw the ball away and he got hit like the ankle at the last second.
Yeah.
It sort of changed his release point.
Yeah.
Is there a learning lesson there?
Yeah, and the one thing we have is those iPads now. So I mean, we went over the sideline and saw it. You'd just like to see him throw it away at the running back. Throw it at his feet, whatever, kind of like you do on a screen. And to his credit, he's trying to get the ball out of his hand so we don't take a sack. But unfortunately, if he hadn't picked it, it probably would have been intentional grounding, I would think, because I didn't see a guy in the area. So, part of that is spatial awareness, understanding where everybody is on the concepts, and then if you have to make a throw and throw it away, do it near somebody. And again, those are things I think he'll learn from.
Mac has mentioned that this might be Omarion's last game. You never know what the ball order, but
Sure,
it could be his
yeah.
last game at Canyon, certainly. Just being with him as offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Just, what do you think what you'll remember the most about him?
He's one of the most unique, one of the most unique people I've ever been around. I mean, the guy is extremely humble, no drama. You see a lot all across the country. Guys do things and say things and score a touchdown, act certain. He doesn't do any of that. He just does his job. He never complains. He got 11 carries the other day, and I never heard a word. I mean, he's encouraging me. So, just a special guy. I think it goes to how he was raised. He's extremely talented. I mean, I told you last week against Wake, he walked down the hall after, you couldn't even tell he played a game. He's never been around somebody like him. He's a really special person, special kid, and really fortunate to get a chance to coach him the last 2 years. And we need to get him going Saturday and finish the right way.
He's been very durable too for a guy.
Yeah.
Takes a beating out there. You talk about the yards after contact. There's usually contact.
Yeah, no, there usually is, and people load the box on you, and he has to handle one guy usually all the time, but the guy has proven that his off-season conditioning and the way he's trained and the way he's the way his body is, he's taking a pretty good pounding at times, but I mean, again, the guy never complains and just does his job, leader by example.
The last 2 weeks, it's kind of looked like at times Travion Green's really struggled. And the perception of the people outside outside the program, they see a sack and they see a tackle, they figure it's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
How much has he struggled? How much of some of the sacks that have come from his side been other factors?
Yeah, I don't think it's that's probably not a fair, from the stands or from TV. Probably I could see how that goes, but everybody we've all contributed to that, from play calling to holding the ball to whatever. So I think Trayvon's this first year he's played a lot, and now he's in almost the end of the season. He's got a lot of reps. I think he'll improve. He's a talented guy, and I wouldn't say that any of that's all blame on him for sure. And again, we got to design it where we get the ball out of our hand. I think that's where I'm at on it. And none of our guys, I would never say any of our guys, hey, this is on them or that. That's not true. And then like you said earlier, one of you guys, some of the sacks, sometimes you got to look at running backs, you got to look at tight ends and so forth. So I would say Trey probably didn't play his best, but you know what? We didn't coach our best, and a lot of guys didn't play their best the other day.
You mentioned several times getting the ball out of the hands.
Yeah.
Is that maybe the primary lesson for Jacoby these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, and along with that goes, hey, we got to be open, right? He's got to have a place to throw it, and then it's sometimes he's probably holding the ball a little bit, and sometimes there's really not anywhere to go with it. So it's a combination, and one of those days like we had Saturday, it seems like those things just show up. They show up over and over and over, and you can't get out of that rut, and that's something that we got to fix and get ready, because we're going to play a really talented group this week, and if we don't improve in that area, definitely it's going to be tough on us.
Outside of the scheme and what Gibson does, has anybody stood out on that North Carolina State defense? I know Vance had a really good year.
And I know their numbers better than their names, okay? The number one's a really good player, 44. Those two guys, to me, anchor. And Tony's always had guys internally in there, the way he plays defense. Peyton Wilson, I did know his name from last year, but those guys, he gets them all playing extremely hard. They know that defense, I think, inside and out, which tells me he does a great job teaching it. And they're going to really always try to outnumber you and make you earn it. But I think they're very talented. The two corners, I think, are good players. And those two inside, I think, make them go. I know they lost a linebacker early in the year, I think, to a knee or something. But it's a talented group again, and people have struggled to score a lot of points on them for sure.
On that note, what are the challenges that a 3-3-5 could present in terms of just trying to navigate that team, I guess?
Yeah, when you just think about the setup, obviously 3 down linemen, you think, okay, just run the ball. But, they do a great job playing their technique. A lot of times they understand the deficiency of however you line up, just like a 4-down team kind of understands the deficiency of that. And they do really good things to offset that, I think would be the best way to say it. They could be in a drop 8 look and then next play be in a 0 look, and they'll do a lot. So it challenges the quarterback to process quickly. It challenges us to make sure that we have all our T's crossed and I's dotted, and definitely going to be something that it's going to take a lot of work this week to get ourselves ready to go.
Chip, you were talking about potentially being Omarion's last home game. It will be Willie's last home game with Carolina.
Sure.
He's a guy you guys brought in from a group of 5 school, and even though he doesn't necessarily have the physical traits of maybe a pro guard, he grades consistently really high and might be a first team all ACC guy.
Right.
And Willie has said that scouts have told him that, hey, you don't necessarily jump off the chart physically, but what is it about him that makes him, you think, cut out for the NFL?
I think just the way he's wired, the way his mind operates, he's not intimidated by anything. He tries to play with an edge every day and practices with an edge every day. And I think when you have the build that he has, then you have to have some other qualities, because you're always looking at what is their trait that really makes them stand out. Anytime you're evaluating players, like what's his dominating trait, and his is going to be makeup for sure. He's tough. He plays physical. He is athletic. Wrestling background in high school. Plays with an edge. Practices with an edge. There is never a day off for him. And he's smart. He understands what's going on, and he has to do all those things, I think, to be the player he is. And you can see how successful he's been doing that. There's a lot of talented guys out there that have size and athleticism that aren't wired like him, and they're not as good of players, even though when you look at them, they have all the measurables. So I think it's really a testament to him and his commitment to playing like that and playing with an edge, and that's how he's wired. And that's why, we're glad he's on our team. He's one of the toughest guys that I've coached and been around.
Obviously, you meet with Matt Krause every week. I guess when back to the DC game, what were some of the points discussed about either the performance or the play calling, kind of how that played out?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you don't play well, I mean, you have to reevaluate everything. You go back and say, okay, you know, this was our plan. How did we execute our plan? And obviously, we didn't do that very well, especially early. But I think at the end of the day, you're honest about what you see on film. You know, you're honest with the players. You're honest with, hey, you know, I could do this better or that better. And because I'm the guy that's responsible, so I'm definitely never going to shy away from that. And then you try to flush it and move on, because very quickly we have to get ready for another one. And kind of that's where we are today is, hey, our focus has been on NC State since last night, and we're ready to try to redeem ourselves and come out. And the one thing about our group is I know this, we'll respond. Our guys are wired that way. I love this group that we have. They'll respond. I have no doubt in my mind, and we'll play our tails off Saturday and give our people a lot to be proud of. And, you know, at the end of the day, you got to make enough plays and you got to execute to go win games like this. But no doubt we'll come out, I think, and answer the challenge and be ready to go.
Correct?
Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it.